Okay, we begin. We are ready. Jana Dende Samba Ye Sanje Juda Yende La Janjo Ningbo Chigi Bar Tobar Dane Yazo Namo Guru Me Namo Buddhaya Namo Dharmaya Namo Sanghaya Namo Guru Me Namo Buddhaya Namo Dharmaya Namo Sanghaya Namo Guru Me Namo Buddhaya Namo Dharmaya Namo Sanghaya Sanje Cheda Choye Chonam Chanju Badu Dani Jok Soje Doji Jin Soye Bodi Daji Dola Benje Sanje Duba Sho Simje Damje Deva Da Deve Yuda Dembur Yoji Simje Damje Dunye Da Dunye Ge Yuda Devar Yoji Simje Damje Dunye Mebe Deva Da Mindeva Yoji Semje damje nyere chada nyeta deve danyam la nevar yoji. Good morning, everyone. Okay. So today, today we will continue with our remaining teaching or classes. So you see, if you look into the prayer, beginning of the prayer, what is the most essential point? What is the main important point in the beginning of the meditation? In the beginning of the meditation, it is very important to correct one's motivation, to set up the proper motivation. So that is the beginning part of the meditation, right? In any kind of meditation. So that is something which is necessary for all forms of meditation. In the beginning of the meditation, if we look into the verses of the refuge, Sanje Choda Choge Chonamla Changju Bardu Dane Kyapsuchi Dagi Jinso Cheba Sonamji Dola Pinjir Sanje Dubar Show. So this is the refuge formula, you know. So, you know, when we recite this verse, hello? So when we recite this verse, what actually we need to think? What do we really need to think? You know, of course, you know, recitation of the prayers are really important. Hello?
Và chờ mình vào thì không vào thăm một chút được là mở cái game và trong đấy thì đâu sẽ ra lên.
Okay. Got it. So, you know, to set up the motivation is something really important. It is necessary in the beginning of the meditation, any part of any kind of meditation, which, you know, recitation of the refuge is really highly important. Right. So this is, you know, we, you know, we try to do some kind of practice. You know, we try to do, you know, do this practice or that practice. But for what purpose? We should have some purpose. We should have some aim in doing the virtuous activity or any kind of practice. At least we should have some aim or goal. So that aim or goal is something really profound, you know, it's something really long-term. It's something really, you know, a long-term interest. Long-term interest. So when we talk about the long-term interest, you know, I mean, we can, you know, we can buy the insurance. We can buy the health insurance. We can buy the vehicle insurance. We can buy the, you know, property insurance, housing insurance. But that is limited. That is limited only, you know, extended only in this life. But then, if we try to go beyond that, if we try to really, you know, settle our life, you know, well, smoothly, we need to think, you know, not only for the limited time, we need to think something far-reaching. You know, we are thinking about the, we are thinking and seeking long-lasting insurance. Long-lasting insurance. What is that insurance? Which really provides, you know, reliability. Which really provides the reliability over life after lifetime. Life after lifetime. Not only confined only to this life, but something which is eternal. Eternal. ever, forever. That is, we are simply seeking. We are simply seeking enlightenment. Enlightenment. What is enlightenment? The enlightenment is totally blissful. It's free from all the complications. It's free from all the problems. Free from all the borings. Free from all the limitations. Free from all the tiredness, weariness, weariness. In contrast, it is blissful, eternally blissful, a joyful, limitless, beyond time, beyond space. It is pure, it is total, totality. It is full, it is complete. What there is other thing than something which is complete with all the excellent features, excellent prosperity. So that is what we are looking for. That is what we are looking for. This is what we're trying to attain. We're trying to seek. In a way, if we are really seeking this kind of enlightenment, we are also courageous. We are really truly courageous. We have brave heart. We have long-term thinking. We are far-sighted. We are tremendously courageous. So this beautiful enlightenment is what we are trying to achieve, because it is worthwhile, it is worthy, 100% worthy. It will never break. It will never come to ruin. It is not breakable. It is not a misery. It is something highly precious to behold. So we we are not only trying to take a birth in the Pure Land. Of course, it is a wonderful thing that we all try our best to take birth in the Pure Land. But more wondrous is that we believe in ourselves, we trust in ourselves, we believe in ourselves, that we have all the potential, that we have all the capacity to attain yourself, to transform yourself into the perfect human being, excellent human being, the perfect human being. That is, you can become a Buddha. We can become an enlightened person, totally enlightened. When we become enlightened, there is no word to explain, to describe. your infinity nature, your infinity qualities. So this is something that what we are looking for, you know. So therefore, you know, we totally believe because we have all the potential, we have all the, you know, the infinite qualities within us. We have infinite qualities which has not yet blossomed. It remain in the form of seed. It hasn't yet blossomed. So therefore, understanding this reality, then we believe in ourselves that I can become an enlightened person. If I work hard, I can become myself enlightened. The great master Shantideva says, even if the bees, the small insect, they are very weak, you know, just by touching, they will easily die because of the weakness of the body. But even despite this, if they really develop the strength, inner strength to train in the path, train in the virtuous action, they can become enlightened. If that is the case, why we not us? We have all the, you know, more better opportunities, better qualities, equipped with more infinite qualities. Of course, we can become something, the whole, not the part. We can become ourselves whole. There's a holistic within us. So therefore, with this, that believing in yourself, believing in ourselves, that finally I become Buddha, I become enlightened. I become myself. Buddha. All my spiritual qualities within, you know, the spiritual qualities which has not yet ripened. All, you know, when I become Buddha, all this also become enlightened qualities. And you have you yourself, as well as all the surrounding, all your retinue and entourage all become, all are Sangha. So you finally become Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We have all the capacity, we have all the qualities to become yourself, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. With this, you know, wish, with this thinking, contemplation, with this understanding, we then take the refuge. We take the refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha that you are going to attain, that we are going to attain. Trusting in the three jewels, Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, Sangha jewel, that we are going to attain in the future. That is what is needed when we recite Sanje Chodan Chogi Chonam La Chanchu Pardu Dani Chapsuchi Da ye jinso ke ba de ta ke tola pinchi sangye to basho. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach enlightenment. By the practice of giving perfections, by the practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha. So that is something important when we recite, Mahayana refuge. That's important. Trusting ourselves, that is so, we need to, make our mind sometimes courageous, not overwhelmed with, some minor, issues or some personal issues, and overwhelmed, and not giving the enough space and time for cultivating such a courageous thought. That is highly necessary. But with this, we trust in ourselves. We inspired ourselves. Now, what motivates? What motivates us? What really motivates us to go through such a long journey? Such a long journey. To take such a long journey, a blissful long journey. What motivates us? For that, we need the guidance. We need the proper guidance. We need the qualified guidance. A qualified guidance, a qualified teaching, the qualified instructions, the qualified friends. Because we are going through a long journey. It's just a journey for 1 day or 2 days. It's an eternal journey. It is a worthwhile, blissful journey. To make sure that this journey is something smooth, we need a qualified journey. We need a qualified instructor. We need a qualified teaching and instructions. We need someone who can be a, say, model or inspirer. Because of this, now we have, again, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. There is someone who is other than you, Buddha show us the path, the right path. Buddha show us the right direction, where to proceed, where to go. In which direction? So that is what Buddha kindly show us the path. And then now it is the teaching, the right teaching. I said the right teaching. If you rely on the wrong instruction, wrong teaching, we will end it somewhere miserably. Or end it into nowhere. We lost the way. We would lose the way. We would be confused. If we were to rely on the teaching, a medicinal-like teaching, the right teaching, authentic teaching, authentic instructions, to searching for the authentic, knowledgeable teacher is highly necessary. Otherwise, these days, we also have a lot of information can be obtainable through online. So therefore, relying on an authentic teacher is necessary. So we need authentic and qualified teacher, the authentic instruction, and now we also need somebody who can inspire you. That is your virtuous friend. We call virtuous friend. Sometimes there is what we call as evil friend. This evil friend will drag you down into more problems, into more samsaric trouble. Somebody who we need uplift to proceed, to make a journey successfully, smoothly. Right? Thus, it becomes so important to make sure that the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, or the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas in ordinary human form to make available, accessible, to give instruction, the teaching for us. If we were in such a situation where there is no Dharma, what would happen? Imagine. Difficult life. So therefore, it becomes so important to make sure that the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the Mahayana qualified teachers, the masters, should alive, should be living. If they were to pass away, what would happen? There's a great possibility that we would fall into the wrong direction. We would proceed to the wrong direction again. Because of this, it is important to request, to urge the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the qualified masters to live a long life. We need to urge them to live a long life. Because of this, the sixth of the seven limb practice come into being. That is urging and request them to live a long life. Seven limb practice, right? Of the seven limb practice, urging and requesting to live a long life, eons and eons. The sixth of the seven limb practice. This seven limb practice is the sixth of this, is the sixth preliminary practice. That's really something important. When we talk about preliminary practice, sometimes we think that it's something, somewhat, ordinary practice or, foundational practice. But it has to do with me. I yearn for more esoteric and profound instructions. But without going through preliminary practice, no matter how, powerful our thought to engage in the profound and instruction and practice is more or less like building the story, the building on the icy ice cube. Sooner or later, the building would collapse when the ice melts, because there's no concrete foundation. We have no, foundational ground on which we can build on something valuable. Right? Now, we talk about urging and requesting. For the merit field, for the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the heroes, the gurus, the solitary realizers, dharma protectors, dakas, dakinis, to remain for as long as space exists, for as long as samsara ends. We request them. Right. That's why we do see the ceremony, long life ceremony. If you try to be, to gain the, authentic understanding of how the long life works, requesting the long life ceremony works. Generally speaking, in general, we make a request, a long life request, to somebody who has big control over his birth and death. If somebody that we request to live a long life has no control, even if we request, the person has no control. Because the person's birth and death is determined by karma and delusion. So just as we requested, how can that person live along? So therefore, we request for the masters to live a long life in the fact that the person has the control over his birth or his death. The person has the full control that he can choose the birth, then when he will live. For such a person, we make a long life ceremony. Yet on the other hand, we can still make a long life request. To create the merit for ourselves. Even though the person has no control over his birth and death, but still we can make a request so that we have the chance to create the merit for ourselves. Right. Indeed, they are Buddhas, they are Bodhisattvas who have total control over their life, over their birth, over their death. They are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the great beings, the holy beings, who come into sometimes appear as the human form, in ordinary human form. In ordinary human form. They can come into ordinary human form. Right. So we urge and request them to live a long and have a healthy life, right? We urge them, we request them. If they have total control, if they have total control over their birth, over their, over their death, over their life, how come we need to request? How come that we need to urge them to live? Because, in the case of the Buddhas, enlightened beings who come into the ordinary human form, for them, there is no aging, there is no sickness, there is no death, there is no birth. The birth, aging, sickness, death are beyond. They have gone beyond this. If there is no birth for them, for the enlightened beings, if there is no birth, no aging, no sickness, no death, how come we can see them sickness? We can see them sick. How is it possible? Sometimes we see them aging. We see them dying. How is it possible? We see them, the problem like memory loss. We see them unhappy. How is it possible? No. Sometimes these great enlightened beings who come into the ordinary forms, ordinary appearance, right? Of course, sometimes we do see them going to, hospital. We do see them falling, dose of sleeping, eating. Getting upset. We do see them. But the secret is all these are display. All these are display. They display all these things. These are just simply the display, the mere display. The display. Display for what purpose? Display for us. The display of us. Display of us. These things. That they are sometimes sick. That they are, having memory loss. Getting sick. Aging fast. Is it real as what we do see them? As what we see? This problem? No, These are just, as I said, these are just display. For what purpose? Now, for example, when these, enlightened beings in ordinary human form, when they display getting sick, they display for us. They display for us. For what purpose? For what purpose? They teach us huge lesson, a big lesson, that they make us to transform. The simple purpose is that they want us to transform. That they want us to realize the truth, the reality, to make us achieve the state beyond the suffering, beyond the limitations. Otherwise, what is the point of displaying, getting sick, getting dead, dying? Now, for example, for what purpose? That they do display dying. That is simply to remind us the impermanent, a big lesson, a big instruction that they can ever give, which really make us transformed from beneath, not from the surface, but from the beneath. Right? They want us simply to learn. They want us to learn the reality, to learn the truth, out of their love, out of their compassion for us. Simply to guide us. Lovingly, that I am beyond suffering, I'm beyond aging, I'm beyond death. Still, I am displaying all this for your purpose. For your purpose. I don't have to die. Why they have to die? Why they have to take birth? When they take the human birth, they do in the similar way as we ordinary human beings do. And they do have to do. They are beyond aging, they are beyond sickness, they are beyond death. Because why? They are beyond aging, beyond sickness, beyond death is because they obtain the Vajra body. Once you obtain the Vajra body, beyond sickness, beyond aging, beyond all the limitations, you are infinite. These Buddhas are enlightened ones, anybody who achieve enlightened beyond, because they achieve the Vajra body, immortality. They achieve the immortality life. But we try to act, we try to respond in the same perceptions that we ordinary, in the same ordinary perceptions, we react based on our same ordinary perceptions. So therefore, we see them as ordinary. But in reality, right, because of this, how do we know that they achieve the immortality, that they achieve the Vajra body? Is now, for example, when the great masters, when the great masters pass away, what do we do? I think you have seen, when the great masters pass away, the highly realized masters, when they do pass away, what do we see? We do see, the five Buddha crown. We see five Buddha crown placed on their forehead. Five Buddha, Dhyana Buddha, placed on their forehead, and then you will see all the dressed, celestial dress put on their body. What it indicates, what it says. Right? This indicates that they have, they have actualized, they have attained the state of five Buddha, five Buddha. And the more better explanation, the better understanding is that, the gross body, they take the birth. They may have taken the limitless birth at the same time. Now all these are emanations, we call emanations. Right? Now the emanations, they display dying, they may display getting sickness. Now when they die, what it means, because I said, you put the crown and also the celestial cloth, the dress on their body, is that the gross emanations now dissolve back. The gross emanations as gross body dissolve back into the ultimate source. Ultimate source. What is the ultimate source? The clear-eyed mind. The clear-eyed mind. The wisdom of the bliss and emptiness. The wisdom of the inseparability of bliss and emptiness. So from that mind arises all the emanations, all the pure land, all the purities arises from that. And now is the time to dissolve back into the ultimate source. Yet at the same time, all the gross emanations is dissolved back, but that does not mean that the benefit is enlightened activity is stopped, ceased. No. It can emanate the limitless number, the emanations into the other world system, into the other world system where they can benefit. So that is the meaning. Why we do see the crown placed on the high masters, those highly realized masters' crown, and putting the celestial dress, that all the gross emanations are dissolved into the ultimate source. Yet at the same time, under the limitless emanations are brought into the limitless world system. Right. So when we all get enlightened, this body, even those, highly realized masters, the gross body that they have obtained has to leave behind. But, but they are benefiting, but they are They continue to benefit others. In what ways? Because they have obtained the Vajra body. I say Vajra body. That's called, that's what's called as illusory body. So somebody asked me a question, what is Renba body? So it's similar like this. Renba bodies, illusory body, these are almost the same. The method for actualizing, attaining the Renba body and the illusory body a little bit different. Once you have obtained that Renba body or illusory body, you are beyond aging, you are beyond sickness. You obtain the immortality, life. So we understand that finally it's all the display, like in the television, like in a movie, Even though they obtain the immortality life, they are beyond aging, sickness, or death. But still, they prefer to pass away sometimes. They prefer to get sickness. They prefer to get sick. For that, we need to request. We need to urge them not to pass away into the nirvana. To make the things easy, to make in an ordinary language, requesting not to die, to remain for as long as the numberless, for as long as the atoms, the limitless number of atoms in the limitless of the universe, in this period or this length remain to benefit us, help us achieve the higher rebirth, achieve the liberation, achieve the fullest enlightenment. So this is the point, the whole point of urging and requesting to remain for a long time, not to do the untimely passing away. Now, if we were to request, how do we go about requesting? So, in the limitless universe, or the Pure Land, in the limitless of the Pure Land, limitless number of Pure Land, to all the Buddhas in this Pure Land, and especially those Buddha who display passing away, those Buddha in this, those limitless Buddhas in those limitless universe, limitless Pure Land, those who are display passing away. So you emanate from your heart, you emanate yourself limitless number. You same like yourself, you emanate limitless number, and you visualize the throne, throne covered with the brocade, double vajra brocade. I think the yellow double vajra brocade. And this throne you hold, and then you go to the limitless number of the Pure Land, Buddha's Pure Land. And what we need to do is we need to kneel down. And especially those Buddha who is ready to pass away, you kneel down and then you make that offer this throne. Offer the brocade symbolize the indestructibility of the life. So this is auspicious sign and indication that you offered, and then you request, remain. Please help us. Please help to remain as long as for eons and eons to guide us, to give the teachings. We make such a request, and then with this, all your request is accepted. They have accepted your request. So this is what we have to do. Now, with this, you can also do the visualization like this. We have already, visualized the merit field. The merit field, Shakyamuni Buddha, in the right, the lineage masters of the extensive path, on the left, lineage master of the profound path, and all, and then surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So what we do is we hold, if you have the mandala base, in the mandala base, you put the 5 rice, heap of rice in the mandala base, you hold and put the rice 5 point, and then you request to remain as long as space exists, and turn the wheel of Dharma for the purpose of to give us the teaching. Please, you urge them to live along. So this is how we can make a request, not to pass away into nirvana. And then, when you hold the mandala, when you hold this mandala base, and you think that this is the, throne. This is the, throne covered in front, covered with the yellow brocade, with the double vajra, with the double cross vajra. So with this, we think that they have happily, joyfully accepted your request. And you also felt rejoice for having to the fact that they have accepted your humble request. Right. So I think we have reached the time. So with this, I think I will, better stop here. We have reached the time. Just 10 minutes. If you have question, you can ask. If you have a question, you can ask. Oh. Hello?
Seems like we don't have any question today, Ben.
Okay, sure, no problem.
No, wait. Somebody is typing right now. Ai có câu hỏi xin gõ vào khung chat ạ. So those who have questions for Ben, please type them down in the chat box below. Ben, so the questions is, if we want to learn a particular teaching or dharma, then can we just request Buddha and Bodhisattva to turn that to give us that teachings in the same way as you instructed in the teaching, in the same way? Sorry, I mean, like if we want to learn a particular dharma, like Vajrayogini or some kind of a practice like that, then we just visualize that we request that dharma from the Buddha and Bodhisattva in the same way as you have instructed in the teaching today.
Yeah, that's good and important question.
And more importantly, and in additionally, she asked that not only just the Dharma, but also, if she want some guidance in daily life or mundane life, then can she also request that from the Buddha and Bodhisattva also, as you had teacher today?
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, those very important, the instructions that, very, very important ones, for example, like, what we explained, so, those very important instruction that I try to explain is, is based on the authentic, source, based on the authentic source, something I can give my idea, give my suggestion, that it's not necessary to follow, but those, for example, that one that I explained is based on the, it's not, for the, for the people to follow and try to, to do some, then I try to make sure that it is based on the authentic, instructions, not something that I, create, right? So there's no good, So this is, actually what is, also done in the, we done in the, what's that, we done in the, also in the practical way. Yeah, this is also, done in the practical way, and of course, generally speaking, you can also, in general, once guru, then remain the one of the principles, one of the principal figure in the merit field, one of the principal figure in the merit field, Yeah. So my attempt is, just try to explain the things, try to explain the, just try to explain, the authentic, the understanding, authentic understanding, right? And then authentic understanding, so that you have better understanding of what really is Dharma about, Dharma. And so it is to put into practice. First of all, it is very important to have the right understanding, right understanding. So I can explain all this, these things in the Lamrim, explanation. It's a Lamrim explanation, it's not based on, it's yeah, it's based on the explanation, right? Now, when we gain such a deeper understanding of the Dharma, when we reach such a good understanding of Dharma, then the next step comes, the next step comes. So the next step, then it is really, important to, the importance of, the importance of, the Guru playing a pivotal role, instrumental role in enhancing your spiritual qualities, somebody that you can gain the inspiration, this, at least in my attempt, I try to do this, So with your Guru, you dedicate, so my one is next step is this, but in my foundational level, the aim or my, the goal is just to really get a good understanding of the Dharma, good understanding, the overall Dharma understanding, Sometimes you don't understand here and there, and then later on, create a lot of problems, a lot of mistake, here and there. Then they're saying, I don't get anything, I don't feel anything. Why? Right? Because we don't value the understanding, understanding. And then we, misinterpret in our own way. That's what, we don't get the expected result. Now, for example, we have 5 different kinds of style of teaching, explanation, that's called explanatory teaching. Okay, explanatory teaching. My one is based on the explanatory teaching. Then there is called, the oral transmission. In the oral transmission, you don't need to do, in the explanatory, teaching, you try to understand the meaning, the correct meaning. In the oral teaching, you don't need to understand. It is not necessary, you just receive the, oral transmission. And then there is the third, which is called, which is called familiarity, familiarity visualized teaching. Familiarity visualized teaching. Now that is, for example, the master, the master, or somebody, your master, or your the Guru, may give you the instruction, right? Or you have to do this, you need to meditate this, you need to do that, you need to do that based on the master's visualized, based on the master's familiarity with his or her own instruction and practice. Based on that, the same thing he guides to the student, right? So that is visualized familiarity teaching, right? Now we have the fourth one. The fourth one is, it is called the experiential teaching. Experiential teaching. Experiential teaching means, now based on the master's, master, or the Guru's, experience. I mean, he has instruction. For example, there's a one. For example, there's one Lamrim, right? Lamrim, easy path and simple path. There's a two Lamrim, easy path and simple Lamrim. So the master, master or the guru, he practiced this. He practiced from his heart, keep as his some really important as a practice. So then, based on the master's or guru's experience, then he teaches. He teaches to the student. No, right now, for example, I talk on maybe I talk on I'm just giving example, just giving example. For example, I give precious woman birth. I talk about precious woman birth. Now I talk about precious woman birth, and then you need to visualize this. You have to visualize this. And then I give you the instruction, and you have to meditate. The people, the student has to meditate, and then you do the meditate, and then unless you get some experience, you cannot come to inform me. When you gain the experience, now the student come to the guru, and you offer your experience. I had this experience. I had that experience. When the teacher see, this is wrong, or this is right. This is wrong, and then he gives the further instruction until you get experience. And then when you perfect, when you have really good, experience of the preciousness of human birth, then the guru give you the next instruction. So this is experiential teaching. Right, number 4. Now the number 5th teaching is called naked instruction. Naked instruction. Naked instruction is now, for example, right, and also, this is, for example, Lamrim, the stages of the path, like easy path or the simple path. There are two beautiful Lamrim texts, easy path and simple path. I think these are also available in Vietnamese translation. So this path, so the master also guided you. That guided you all the essential instructions, the essential points, the essential instructions. Right now, for example, when you are a medical practitioner, what do the doctor do? The surgeon, the doctor bring you to the surgery operation room, and then he point out, oh, this is liver, this is spleen, this is lung, and this is heart. So he point out each in detail. He point out. So, right. Similarly, in the instruction, this is this, and you have to visualize this, and that visualization, all the essential points are being, all the essential points are being explained, are being introduced to you. So that is naked instruction. So, my attempt is just, to make the people really try to, acquire a good understanding of Dharma. At least, it really helps. If you are able to think well, it, it goes deep into your mind. It ingrained, and then, we are not expecting to, develop the, spiritual experience or spiritual realization overnight. We are thinking that we are greedy, too greedy. At least, we leave some positive imprints of mind, and then the time comes. When the time comes, then, things will reveal by itself. Right? Yeah, the instruction that I explained, is all, it's there's, one can do, of course, one can do. But if you, if you are experienced, if you are a little bit advanced, then, surely, you can request the guru, your guru, to, remain for a long life, to make a, urge, a request to remain for long life, to, to turn the wheel of Dharma, to teach, like this. But the instruction that I give is also, you can also do that too. the explanation that I gave, these things, at least it's not empty, it's not empty, it's not dry, because I also received this, all the Lamrim instructions from, Chunda Rinpoche, and also from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So it carries some blessing, at least, Okay, then.
So then can I ask just a follow-up questions? If based on what you explained, the 5 different methods of instructions, so let's say when a student first start out, we'll start with the explanatory, and then as they get more experience, more well-versed in Dharma, then they ask for additional instruction. Is that how that works?
No. Yeah, this also need to be, a little bit, discussed a little bit. These things are really important to understand, really important. So it is actually not in that way, it is not that way, it is not that way. For example, right, some people, very busy, some people really very busy, and very hectic life, very hectic life, busy, cannot devote much of their time in studying, this, the great, the explanatory teachings, So for those who cannot, spend much of their time, they just want us very simple, they just want a very simple thing, just to make it simple, too easy for them. Of course, they can do, this. They can go through the, what's that called, the naked instruction. They can rely on the naked instruction. They can also rely on the naked instruction. They can rely on the, the experiential, instruction. They can rely on the, visualized familiarity, visualized instruction. But at the same time, the somebody who is giving that should have plenty of time. That is difficult to find these days. Everybody is busy. It's difficult to find. Because the qualified master, based on his or her own experience, then give the teaching, expecting the student to put into the practice. Then the student, the qualified master should have plenty of time, where the student have enough time to ask the questions. Right. So there is no, specific, definite rules. It depends on each individuals. But for the overall, the overall, for as an overall, the explanation, the explanatory instruction or commentary is really preferable in this today's world, in this today's busy world. So that Buddha's teaching remain here for a long period of time. What Master Tsongkhapa says. Master Tsongkhapa says, what he did say. Master Tsongkhapa's just simple aspiration is to make the teaching alive, to remain on this earth for a very long period of time. If the teaching remain here on this earth for a long period of time, who will get benefit? The sentient beings will get benefit. The beings will get the maximum benefit, because it is what is called as the soul medicine, right? And therefore, he says, in the beginning, study as much as you can. In the middle, he said, study is no use. He didn't say this. He said, in the beginning, study as much as you can. In the middle, See all the instructions as your practice. See all the instructions in the form of the practice. All the instructions are just meant for practice, nothing more than that. It is not for dispelling the doubts. It's simply for putting into practice. Then in the last, then in the finally, he say, practice day and night. Practice day and night. Such the vast thinking. Who can compare this way of thinking, this kind of thinking? Nobody. If Buddha's teaching were to remain at least for a few centuries, this is the way. This is the way. Right. So therefore, again, now therefore we say, there's called Kadam Lamrim. Kadam Lamrim. Yeah, Kadam treatises, then Kadam Lamrim, then Kadam instruction, Kadam instruction. What does that mean? This is also the style of the teaching. Now somebody, sometimes, we study for a very long time, the people study for a very long time, many years. When it comes to the practice, we don't know how to practice. This is not only, the Domdoma he says, after studying, for a long period of time, when it comes to practicing, it looks like we have to search for somebody who can guide us. That is totally wrong. Right? So that's what Jetsongkhapa said. Dharma study is meant for instruction, putting into practice, not other than that, nothing more than that. Right? This is one thing. And then Lamrim, Kadam Lamrim, Kadam treatises means, we spent for a very long time, Now, Lamrim, what we have spent for many years, we acquired good understanding by studying for many years. Now we have to, try to attach with the Lamrim, and then putting into practice. This is the way of doing is Kadam Lamrimba. Yeah, Kadam Shumbava, Kadam treatises, Kadam Shumbava, Kadam treatises. Then the second one is Kadam Lamrimba, right? So Kadam Lamrim is now, they just keep the teaching, based on the Lamrim teaching, they are trying to teach, right? Kadam Lamrimba. Kadam Lamrim, try to give the, teaching based on this, the Lamrim teaching, try to offer the Lamrim instruction based on the Lamrim teaching. So that is Kadam treatises, Kadam Lamrim, right? Kadam stages of path. The last one is Kadam Mengaba, Kadam instruction. Kadam instruction means now some student again had no time, they just busy like this, or I mean those who do not preferred a very long time study, we just want the easy and simple, just want the easy and simple, yet really practical, for that now the Kadam instruction. That means now the the master practice this Lamrim teaching, and based on his own experience and instruction, then give this teaching to the student. Yeah, this is Kadam instruction. Kadam instruction lineage. So we have three lineage, right? Kadam treatise lineage, Kadam Lamrim lineage, Kadam instruction lineage. So it depends on the mentality. It depends on the issue, the people and students' mentality. What you preferred, right? You can request. Sometimes, therefore, we ask the master to please give us the teaching based on the instruction rather than explanatory. And then some people they request, please give us the explanatory teaching. And you can select. Yeah, there's no fixed or definite rule. It depends on the, again, if we were to, the the familiarity, visualized teaching or instruction. In this lineage, in this kind of style of teaching, Lama give the teaching. What he give to teaching, he give the teaching, and you have to do the visualization. Now the teaching lasts for 10 days, 10 days. Whatever he give the teaching, after the end of the teaching, in the evening time, the student has to do the visualization. And then the very good thing is that, wonderful thing is that in that teaching, it is repeated, revised again and again in this style of teaching. The teaching, what has been taught, is revised again and again, so that it's give enough, the opportunity for the student also to, to make familiarity with the practice and instruction. So this is how it is done,
Thank you so much, Ben, for that explanation. That's very complex.
Yeah.
So just so that maybe to summarize, is it fair to say that when students first start out, the explanatory, basically to explain the teaching, just so that the student is familiarized themselves with that, and then as the student have a familiarity, they can ask for, let's say, the oral teaching from the maybe start with the oral teaching and then explanatory, because oral teaching you don't really need to understand, you just need to listen to the teacher, right? And so the third one would be is that visualization meditation some sort, and then experiential from the teacher transmitting his or her own experience. And then when you are ready to practice and put everything in practice, then the receiving or asking for the instructions, basically how to put that learning into practice. Is that pretty much kind of sort of summarize what you just mentioned? Just so, because as a student, it's not known which teaching to request, right? And so I guess it's up to the teacher, the guru, to decide the student's level, to look at the student's level to decide which teaching will be beneficial for that student or for that group of students. Correct?
Yeah, but as oral transmission, the explanatory teaching, so these are pretty recommended, otherwise, I mean, this is, people do it very easy way, otherwise if you really, go in a little bit strict way, then, for example, like experiential teaching, visualized familiarity teaching, and then the naked explanation. In all these things, in all this style of teaching, both student and teacher should have time, enough time, without which, what is the purpose? What is the point? They should both have enough time, Therefore, for example, Master Adisha trained in the bodhicitta practice, mainly, equalizing, the equalizing and exchanging self and others, self with others. This instruction, Master Adisha trained this for 12 years. 12 years, I said. Again, the great master, the great master, Kadamba master Chekawa, I think, who wrote the 7-point mind training. Chagawa also remained with Sharawa, his master Sharawa, for 12 years to learn the 7-point mind training practice. I mean, what is there, which takes so many years? It is nothing. It is, the teaching is given based on the experiential teaching. So therefore it takes 12 years. So you say this kind of the story tell us, that both the teacher and the student should have the time to dedicate to the practice what is being taught. Otherwise, but if we will make it easy way, that's not necessary, we want to have, this and that, nothing to say. In a strict way, this is what really is done, based on the condition that both teacher and student should have good time, spiritual time. So therefore, in the early years, many great masters there, because at that time not developed, this mobile, the computers, all these electrical gadgets, so these are not well developed. So they have enough time to devote, both student and teacher have enough time. Now these days, not much time. So I have no suggestion.
Okay, so then so just for clarification, so we do have many types of teaching, right? So at teachings, we have many methods of teaching, and which methods is the best for you is not fixed, right? It depends on the situation, capacity of the students, and and maybe the karma and many things, or even the situation of the era, right? So we can tell right away which is the best method of teaching, but it depends on the situation.
It depends on reality, but overall, explanatory teaching is really very good, and then once you develop some explanatory teaching, and then we get oral transmission, right? And then once we get oral transmission, explanatory teaching, then if we can go, with the 3-letter style of teaching, it would be good. Or if you have some, some people might have their guru who have enough time, or the student both have enough time, then the latter one is really wonderful also.
So it's like the explanatory teachings. It gives us the general understanding of the Buddha and the Dharma, and once you have that necessary understanding, that you can put that into practice in order to start the teaching, like oral or experience teaching, right?
Other things, would be This is just roughly. But I will, if I have time, I will explain about these things a little bit more later, in the future.
Thank you so much, Van.
Chị Trang chị Trang tóm tắt lại cái câu hỏi của chị Trang được không, bằng tiếng Việt đó, thì cho mọi người cùng nghe đó, tại vì nãy giờ Linh Đan hình như là bị ao mộng rồi, mình thử là
I'm gonna take some time just to maybe recap it in Vietnamese, and I apologize in advance because we have some situation with our interpreter dropping up the internet. So I'm just gonna recap in Vietnamese. So those of you who are listening in English, please bear with me. Dạ thưa, hồi nãy có hỏi thầy đó là thầy có nói về 5 cái phương cách để mà giảng dạy Pháp. Thì cái thầy nói là cái phương pháp mà thầy dạy như cái Lamrim thầy đang dạy đây, tức là một cái phương pháp đầu tiên là mình giải thích giải thích về cái pháp môn đó. Rồi cái phương pháp thứ hai đó là cái vị thầy có thể là chỉ nói về cái pháp môn đó để mà mình học nghe, để mà mình hiểu thêm. Thì thông thường là kiểu như là học trò mà mới học thì là mình cần phải cái là có cái sự mà hiểu biết sơ qua khái niệm về cái pháp môn đó, thì là cái phương pháp mà giải thích là cái phương pháp có thể là tốt nhất. Rồi sau đó là cái phương pháp mà gọi là cái người thầy sẽ nói về cái pháp môn đó cho mình nghe. Rồi cái phương pháp thứ ba là thầy nói là hình như là cái sự mà nếu cho nhớ không lầm, cũng nãy giờ cũng không có viết nốt chuyện. Cái phương pháp thứ ba là hình như là
Familiarity visualizing đó chị Trang.
visualize là quán tưởng đó. Chứ là cái sự mà một khi mà mình đã biết về pháp rồi đó, thì là cái vị thầy đó có thể là giải thích cho mình, để cho mình hướng dẫn cho mình cái cách quán tưởng khi mà mình học cái pháp môn đó. Rồi cái phương pháp thứ tư là có thể là nói về experiential, tức là cái sự trải nghiệm, cái này Việt Nam mình có thể gọi như là tâm truyền tâm. Cái sự trải nghiệm của cái vị thầy đó sẽ trao truyền cái sự trải nghiệm đó cho mình. Tức là ví dụ như cái pháp môn đó vị thầy đã chứng được cái gì, học được cái gì, thì vị thầy sẽ truyền hết cho mình qua cái sự chứng đắc, qua cái sự trải nghiệm của vị thầy. Rồi cái thứ năm là cái phương cách nó gọi là cho mình cái chỉ dẫn thiết thực. Instruction là cái chỉ dẫn thiết thực để mình có thể thực hành cái pháp môn đó. Thì như thầy nói là cái chỉ dẫn thiết thực đó là có thể là nhiều khi có thể là cả 10-15 năm, hay là cái phương cách để mà cái là truyền tâm cũng có thể một thời gian lâu dài. Thì cái câu hỏi mà hồi nãy có hỏi thầy đó là có phải là tùy theo cái trình độ của người học trò thì vị thầy đó dùng cái phương pháp nào để dạy pháp hay không. Thì như là hồi nãy giờ thầy có trả lời đó là có thể là tùy cái hoàn cảnh. Thí dụ như mình có thời gian thì là vị thầy có thời gian, mình có thời gian, thì là có thể là dạy theo cái phương pháp mà chỉ là nói về cái pháp môn đó thôi. Rồi hoặc là về cái sự mà trải nghiệm, hoặc là quán tưởng. Còn nếu mà có thời gian dài hơn thì có thể là vị thầy có thể giải thích lâu dài hơn. Thì cái này là cũng là tùy cái căn cơ của học trò, và cũng tùy theo cái người thầy thấy là cần cái phương pháp nào thì tốt nhất cho cái người học trò đó. Cho nên là không phải là mặc dù là nói năm cái phương pháp mà đi từ dưới đi lên, nhưng mà thực sự là khi mà giảng dạy thì tùy cái vị thầy và tùy cái căn cơ. Yeah. Cảm ơn. Thank you so much, Ben. Thanks everyone for your patience.
We read the prayer, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Van. Please wait for a few minutes. I have some problems.
Sure, no problem. Okay. Yeah. Ye wa de ye yo da da ba ma sa ye do yo ne Roji Yamalu Pate Sala Gubarcho Chanjo Semjo Rinpoche Omaye Banange Yuchi Yewa Nyamba Mebaya Mane Bondo Pevar Yanda Tawa Rinpoche Omaye Banange Yuchi Yewa Nyamba Mebaya Mane Bondo Pevar Tongwa Tane Teba Tenpa Tane Reba Yi Tane Senje Tamje Ki Nena Gyönja Shigyo Je Saso Yungwa Chenpo Ta Namga Shindo Taba Yang Senje Dado Meba Yi Nama Nyeze Shiyang Shu Jize Namga Neba Tang Dowa Desi Ne Yorba Desi Dani Ne Yorne Röya Donye Sewa Shu Tene Jeze Alama Doje Ma Yuan Röya Doje Donye Ma Lu Tanda Dala Minba Ta Da Ye Dege Shen La Tang Wa Ye Röya Denda Denbar Jingye No Jambe Ba Yue Jitara Kyanba Ta Kondo Sangbo Te Yang Te Shen Te Te La Gyenge Je Song Da Lo Che Yewa Ne Da Tam Che Ra Du Te Son She Ben Yewa Tam Che Ke Wa Kang La Cho Do Nga Ba De Da Ye Ye We A Tsa Wa De Yu Jang Sangbo Che Che Ra Du Ngo Wa Ke Yawa Gendo Shabe Doje Changwa Tseyo Pame Tseye Ngoto Tse Yangda Lamde Tarpa Chuki She Shabe Bemur Shabe Doje Ngobo Tenpa Se Tete Yeden Relo. Okay. Oh yeah. No, no. Yeah. Ye de lo be me ze sa song zhe ge so so be be ni jie gang ga ye shen ye nan ye na zhe le yue na ye xian da jia er xiu wo me zhong se jie ye wei qi la da dian zhe lu wa me be dian ba da da ye ba san da de su za ge me be ten jun de lan du zhou yi xiu Mi me ze de ji ji re se ji me ge be wang bo zhang be yang kan ji ji be su jian zong ga ba lo san cha be xia la so la. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Van.
you much for
Okay.
your teaching today. Wish you have a long life.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.